Welcome to the Making of Me podcast. Today's guest is Stanley Bronstein, attorney, CPA, life coach, and author of Who Lost Over 222 Pounds Without Drug or Surgery and has kept it off for nearly 70 years. Stanley shared practical strategy for lasting change, personal excellence, and sustainable health through mindsets, movement, and nutrition. It's really a pleasure having you on the show, Stanley.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So, Stanley, what challenge shaped you the most into who you are today?
Well, I'll give you my story. I'll start at the beginning and I'll give you the quicker version of it. My mother died when I was 8 years old, and that messed with my head. And I was living with my father, who was massively obese, very overweight. And both of us just ate ourselves in oblivion. We just ate and ate and ate and ate. So by the time I graduated high school and went off to college, I was well in my high 200 pounds, probably 275, something like that. And then I kept gaining more weight and more weight and more weight. Occasionally I would lose a little weight, but then I would go right back to my old habits and the weight would come back on plus more. When I got at my biggest, this was me at my biggest.
Ooh,
I was 367 pounds at my biggest. That's what
wow.
I look like today, or around 145 pounds.
If not the picture, I'll hardly differentiate.
Yeah, that's why I made the picture. And I showed the picture. As I was approaching 50 years old, this is 17 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
66 now. As I was approaching 50 years old, I was 320 pounds at the time. I wasn't as quite as big as the picture, but I was still big. And I said, where am I going to be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? And I didn't like the answer because can you guess what the answer was?
I'm trying to
Dead.
guess what it.
Dead. I would be dead in 5 years if I kept one.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that answer. Now that it's 17 years later, obviously I'm not dead. Um, so I said, I told my wife, I'm done. No more. I'm going to learn to start eating better right now. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to try to start exercising every day right now. And my exercise of choice is going to be walking.
Hmm.
I figured walking was easy. You didn't need a lot of equipment. You could
Yeah.
do it anywhere you wanted to go. It was nice to be outside. So I said, I'm going to walk. And so I started doing that. And one of the very first things I did was I quit drinking alcohol. I was drinking too much alcohol. And I said, the alcohol does not serve me. I'm serving the alcohol. And I don't like that. So I said, no more alcohol. So I just quit. It actually wasn't that hard. I just said, no more. I'm done. I quit. I quit drinking. I used those big bottles of soda. I
Yeah.
eat 2 liters, 2 liter bottles. I would drink three of them a day. I would drink
Ooh.
6 liters of soda every day. That's too much. And then I quit eating beef and pork. And so I started doing those things, and then I started walking. And it wasn't easy always to walk. My body would hurt. I'd be sore. I had trouble going up the hill. I'd be out of breath. But the important thing is, not only did I get started, I kept going. Every time I had a bad day, I just kept going anyway. And that's what the important thing is to remember, is that the goal is to keep going. As I like to say, it's two words: beat
Yeah.
yesterday.
PTSD.
You want to do better today than you did yesterday. You want to do better tomorrow than you did today. And you're not going to be perfect about this. See, that's one thing you need to remember. We are human beings. We are not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to mess up. Don't punish yourself for that. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't blame yourself. Just start doing better. Pick yourself up and keep going.
Yeah.
And that's the trick. The trick is to never stop. Get started and never stop. Even if sometimes you might go backwards, sometimes you might go left, sometimes you might go right, sometimes you might go up, sometimes you might go down, but keep going. That's what the important part is. And so I kept going, and I have a thing, I call it constant and never ending improvement. So I am in year 17 of constant and never ending improvement. It's like, if you put a little bit of money in the bank and you start earning interest on the money in the
Yeah.
bank, it grows, and it gets bigger over time. It's the same thing with this. I am Today, 17 years later, I am nothing like the person I was 17 years ago. Nothing. Okay. Remember how I told you in the beginning, I could not, in the beginning, I had trouble walking up and down the block. Well, this is how much walking I did last year. I started in, that's not kilometers, that's miles. Okay. I started in, like I started in Los Angeles and I'm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Good.
Yeah, and that is all from a person who is 66 years old. Yeah, and I'll put it another way. Since that day 17 years ago, this is how much walking I've done.
Good.
I'm 30% of the way to the moon.
Whoa.
And it's only going to take me another 39 years to get there. But I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm going to keep going. The point is, the experience taught me three things. First of all, I'm a very confident person. I've had a very successful business career. I became an attorney, I became an accountant, and I've done very well. But the experience of losing that much weight, doing that much walking, and keeping it off blew my mind. And it taught me three things. And the third one is what your audience should listen to because the third one applies to them. The first thing it taught me is that I am more powerful than I ever imagined.
Hmm.
I am. Second thing it taught me is that if I could do all of this, what else is out there waiting for me to do that I haven't done yet? That's why at the age of 66, I could retire right now. But that's why I have not retired. I don't want to retire. I am having too much fun. I have too many things to do. I'm just getting started. So I'm not retiring. I'm keep going. But I could. And then the third thing it taught me is that if I am more powerful than I ever imagined, so is everybody else.
Hmm.
You hear that? Anybody who's listening, you are more powerful than you ever imagined. You can accomplish more than you ever imagined. Believe it. Start feeling it. Realize it. Know it. Start acting like it. Start taking action that's consistent with that. And if all of us, all around the world, would as individuals realize that we are more powerful than we ever imagined and started acting that way, could you imagine what we could do together?
Yeah.
We
A
could
whole
we
lot.
could unite and we could make this world a much better, much safer, much nicer, incredible place. I think we're doing that. I think we're in the middle of doing that, but I think we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But I think we're in the process. People like you doing a podcast like this. You're on the other side of the world from me, but you have the same wants, the same desires, the same needs. You want the same things. We're brothers, and that's what we should realize.
Thank you. Really amazing. Just hearing your stories out behind the weight loss. Very intriguing. And it just speaks volumes to three things you just make refer. We are more powerful than we think. What does most people misunderstand about weight loss and personal change?
First of all, they don't think they can do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because they've failed in the past, they don't think they can do it now. That's wrong. You can do it. Believe me, I didn't lose 220 pounds. That's 102 kilos. I didn't lose 102 kilos. Over my life, I've probably lost 500 kilos, but I put 400 of them back on. And that's because temporary changes, if you do temporary changes, you're going to get temporary results.
Hmm.
I mean, that's, all there is to it. Here it is right here. Temporary
Yeah.
changes, temporary
Temporary result.
results. Permanent changes, permanent
Permanent result.
results. That's it. It takes permanent changes. And if you want to lose the weight permanently, if you want to do anything in your life permanently, this is not just weight loss. That's why I put it into a system. And this is what the system looks like.
Oh,
All of this is on my website, which I'll tell you about a little bit later, but it's all on the website. You can read it, you can see it, and the system applies to anything in life. My story is weight loss. Your story might be something totally
yeah.
different, but that was why I put it into a system. I'm a systems thinker. That's my whole business career has been about creating systems. How do I take complicated things and make them simple? That's why I created the system to make it simple. And
Yeah.
whatever it is you want to do. If you want to do anything in life, and we'll talk about weight loss, but this applies to anything. It comes down to four factors. And these are what the four factors are. And I'm going to talk
Yeah.
about each.
Willingness, discipline, and commitment.
Yes. I'm
Amazing.
going to talk about each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So can you explain how the four barriers of lasting change? Just the one you
Yeah.
showed me. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be willing to you have to be willing to do positive changes permanently for the rest of your hopefully very long, very healthy, very happy life. But it's permanent. There are no temporary changes. You can't go on a diet this weekend, lose 5 pounds, and then go back to eating your garbage and your crap and sitting on your butt. That's not going to work because you'll be
Yeah.
right back where you are before you know it. It's permanently changing what you do. But the only time I kept it off was when I made permanent changes. I said, I'm going to start eating better now for the rest of my life. I'm going to start walking every day now for the rest of my life. And I'm going to do that. So you have to be willing. If you're not willing, you're just wasting your time. It's not going to last. Second thing, belief. If you believe you can do a thing or you don't believe you can do a thing, either way, you're right. So you need to believe that you can do this. And I just told you in the beginning of this thing, I told you, you're more powerful than you ever imagined. Believe it. If you don't believe it for yourself, trust me. I know it. I've seen it. You are more powerful than you ever imagined. Believe it. Then there's self discipline. And I don't mean punishment. I mean identifying all of your negative, bad habits and breaking them. Like me, I used to go to Chinese buffets every day. I would eat Chinese food every day for lunch. That needs to go. That's no good for me. Better and better. I was drinking alcohol every day. Needed to go. I was sitting on my butt every day. Needed to go. And then creating new positive habits to replace those negative habits. I said, I'm going to start eating healthy food every day. That has become a habit. I am not the same person I was. I am a person who eats healthy food every day. I said, I'm going to start walking every day. I developed a habit. I put my clothes out on the counter every night before I go to sleep. When I wake up, the first thing I do is put on my clothes. I go stretch and then I start walking every day. And on the days when I don't feel like walking, you know what I do? I walk twice. When you don't feel like it, do it two
Yeah.
times. Let it turn into a habit. It has been almost 8 years. I define walking as 2 or more hours of walking every day. That's what I now define walking as. And I have walked 2 or more hours every day for the last 8 years. And if you go back 8 years ago, I had 3 days where I was sick, so I didn't walk. And if you forget those 3 days, it's been 12 years
Ooh.
that I walked. So I have been. So what that tells you is because I eat healthy and because I walk every day, I have been really sick only one time in the last 12 years. And that includes COVID. My wife caught COVID. She brought it into the house and exposed me to it. My body, I had 2 days where I didn't feel quite right, but I still did my walking, but my body threw it off
Ooh.
because my body was in that good a shape. My immune system was that strong. It took me 2 days. My body threw it off, and I managed to do my walking anyway during those 2 days. I walk. Last year, the whole year, I walked a half marathon or more every day, and I have the time to do it. I'm lucky. I've created a lifestyle where I can do this. A lot of my work, as long as I have my phone with me or my computer in front of me on the treadmill or whatever, I can work. So I'm lucky that I can do it. Not everyone can do that.
Yeah. So.
But you don't have to do what I do. What I tell people is I tell people if you want to walk, here's what you should do. You
Mm.
should walk 20 minutes a day. That's it. That's all you need. 20 minutes a day will get you in shape. If you want to walk longer than that, if you want to walk more than that, you can. This is one of my books. It's free on my website. So when I tell you about my website, this is one of the books you can download. But so it's adding new habits. And then the last one is commitment. And this is where the power comes in. When you become 100% committed to something, it becomes much easier to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I am 100% committed that no unhealthy food is going to enter my mouth. It's not going to happen.
Mm.
I'm not going to do it. So I had over Christmas, somebody gave me a bunch of cookies and all that. And these were really nice cookies. I didn't think about eating them. The thought never entered my mind to eat them. I didn't even ask myself, should I eat these? Because if you ask yourself whether or not you should do something, sometimes you're going to take the wrong answer.
Yeah.
You're going to say, yeah, I can eat a cookie. It'll be okay. You know, and well, I'm not going to do that because I'm 100% committed to only eating healthy food. So I gave the cookies away to someone. I gave them to somebody else. And same thing with the walking. I am 100% committed to walking every day. I just told you if I have a day where I don't feel like it, I do it anyway. Too bad if I don't feel like it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because it's going to making me healthier. And people ask me, why do I do these things that I do? Am I nuts? I do them because I can. I am 66 years old. I think I am in better shape than almost anybody I know who is my age. I'm sure there are other people who are, but I do it because I want to see what I can do. Next year when I'm 67, I want to be able to say I did even more than I did when I was
Yeah.
66
Yeah. Thank you.
because I am constantly improving and I do everything slowly and steady. You know what my favorite animal is? This is my favorite animal.
Good. Yeah.
Snail.
Yeah.
Goes slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. That's what I do. That's who I am.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
just keep going and don't stop. And you will amaze yourself where you get. Like I said, I'm just finishing up year 17 of doing that.
Thank you
And
so
yeah,
much.
and I mean, you're a young man. Keep
Yeah.
going. You got a long way to go. I consider myself a young man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Stanley. So, for my audience who want to learn more from you, especially those books you have actually put out, and also to connect with you, how can they reach out and where is the best platform to get it?
Okay. Go to
Okay,
the
theexcellentway.com.
influence.com.
The way of excellence.
That's my main website. You go there. All those books, I've made them all for free. You can also, there's a link on the bottom. You can contact me if you have questions or want to contact me. I will work with people privately if they want to hire me to do that. But I made everything for free also because some people don't have money. Some people don't want to spend money. But the message is important. It needs to get out there and people need to know who they are and what they can do.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stanley. It's really a pleasure having you on the show. And for all my audience, the link again is thewayofexcellence.com, and definitely is going to be on the show notes or for you to reach out. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your journey and your practical insight. It's
Thank,
really amazing. Really, I'm just trying to go back to the key point that you share again. I am more powerful than. If I can do these things, what else in the world can't I do? Thank you.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.